Greetings, a warm welcome everyone. Hey Sagittarians, this is your reading for June 2019. So thank you for joining me and welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel. It's really neat to see you on board and to see you here listening to your guidance for the month of June. We have these 4 different decks in front of me, and we will be picking from them in a random order, whichever feels the most intuitively guided to be picked at the time. These 3 are tarot. This one is a chakra insight oracle deck. It's very powerful. I wouldn't use more than 2 at the most, I think, in a normal reading. You could do a full in-depth special reading using these cards. They're very good for healing the body, mind, and spirit and emotions. Anyhow, what we will do is get into the reading shortly. I have already done some shuffling for you guys off the screen before the video started because I think it takes a little bit too long to shuffle all of the decks on camera as such. Now, as we move into June, we come into the summer solstice for the northern hemisphere and the winter solstice for the southern hemisphere. So these bring about long days in the north, short days in the south. There is also Saturn going retrograde on the same day, the 21st of June. And there is a power day in June, the 6th of the 6th. And the number 6 is all about nurturing oneself, tending to our own needs, going within and paying a bit of conscious attention to ourselves. So anyhow, Sagittarians, let's just do this little bit of brief shuffling. As I say, I have shuffled for you, but just to prove that they're not stacked or lined up or anything random like that. So we do a bit more shuffling. Now, I know a lot of Sagittarian friends that I have, and I do know a lot of Sagittarian people and get on with them really well. They are quite often travelers in life, so they quite often are not necessarily just holidaying, but traveling around the world. So I thought to myself, I wonder if there's anywhere special that you guys have traveled to that you particularly enjoyed, or anywhere that's on your bucket list to travel to, because that might be quite interesting to find out if you are indeed big travelers, regardless of whether it's for work or for holidays, or even for family matters. So with this last shuffling, one more for these ones, we will then get into the reading for you. I think I'm going to start for some reason with this one here. Ooh, the 7 of Swords, not my favourite card. He hasn't been out so far for any of the other readings, but you guys are the 7th reading for the month. Now, the way I'm doing the readings is whoever had the most views from the previous month, so the view totals from the May readings, whoever was the highest got their readings the first, and then so on down the list. So you guys came in at number 7, but that's odd, isn't it? And we have the 7 of Swords. So this card always gives me the feeling of being cautious of what is going on around you and who you are interacting with. It can turn up when there are things such as identity theft going on, or a burglary in your home, or criminal activity, sometimes to do with businesses or your career, things like Visa cards being stolen, corrupt people around you, like fraudulent people doing fraudulent activities. So this can even be in terms of people you work with, so someone at work being found defrauding or stealing, theft, corrupt activities, all sorts of stuff. So it's a card that says be very cautious who you take on board, who you talk to, and who you tell your personal information to, especially online stuff. So given it was the first card out of all of these ones we could have picked and all of the different shuffling, I'd say be careful. So keep your wits about you. Now, the other thing that the card can reference is that you yourself might be thinking of or contemplating doing something that isn't particularly upright or wholesome. And it tells you if you are pondering about doing something that you know is a bit risque, or that you could get caught, or it's going to cheat someone or hurt someone, including possibly yourself, it says don't do it. rethink it and go in a different direction. The Three of Wands is often associated with careers. So this thing here could be about a career issue that is coming up. And as I said, it could be about other people you work with or you associate with in that career aspect of life. If it's not your career, like if you're not a working person, this could be your hobbies or your passions in life. But this guy around, he could be doing something that is, just not correct and not behaving in a correct manner around an employment place. So if you are a person who has a business and you're employing people, just take a good look at them and see, make sure nobody's doing anything they shouldn't be, or ripping things off, or photocopying stuff, or sending personal information out. What do you call it with businesses when they steal your information? So there could be something like that goes on for some of you. Or again, as I say, it could be yourself thinking of doing something within your job or career that may not be considered too ethical. So think twice about it. This card is a better card. It talks to us about looking long term and into the future and expansion. So thinking about global expansion. Often this card turns up when we are looking at things to do with the internet. So expanding out that way. These two somehow for some of you are linked, and I don't know in what way, but I don't like this guy here. So be careful. For others of you, you are thinking of expansion. There might be offers of jobs overseas, or offers of jobs online, or expanding your own business, or expanding within a company, being given a promotion, or contemplating where your future is going to take you in regards to a career option or ideas. Some of you, this means changing careers as well, and some of you it means moving overseas physically. So sometimes a job offer from overseas. So 2 3s in a row, these 2 3s here, and now we've got this. These 2 sword cards aren't very pleasant, though this one's quite pretty to look at with the beautiful blue hue. It's still talking about, sorrow, sadness, loss, feeling deflated. These 5 swords that he's got here, it feels like he's taken 3 of them and just gone into this heart. So what is going on here, guys? There's something to be wary of, and it seems like it's someone you have to be wary of. It could be at work, and there could be 3 people involved. If it's not at work, it could be a personal relationship that you have been, part of. It doesn't have to be a close romantic. It could be a friendship. It could even be family members. But someone is doing something they shouldn't around you or to you. Or, as I say, it could be yourself behaving in that manner. But if it's someone else doing it to you, then really, get rid of them. Who needs that type of crap going on in their life? I will admit this is painful when it happens, but the good thing about this card is it doesn't usually last long. We get over it because we realize we didn't need it in our life. There is a degree of, with this card, if you wish to have this relationship healed one way or another, you can try doing it through communication, such as, going to see a mediator or a counsellor. So sometimes talking things through with the person concerned, whoever this is, or the 3 people, whoever they are, can modify the situation or help it out. Now this card can turn up when there's something like an affair going on as well. So when you might find out that someone's been cheating on you, and it could have been in a romantic partnership and there may have been an affair. I think we've had enough of those cards for now. Let's try this one. Wow, that's much better, isn't it? We've now got the door to personal healing and happiness after this kind of negative stuff from these tarot cards here. We're going in a complete and opposite direction. So there is a possibility that from these events we understand that change needs to take place and we move ourselves into a new direction. For some of you, this could be complete and utter freedom. When you're thinking to yourself, Do I stick with this relationship? Is it worth it? Is the cost or the trauma too much? Shall I give it a second chance? And then something like this happens and you think, wow, I really did need to get out, because I now see that I'm on the path to some healing and happiness by going in a new direction and leaving this stuff behind. Let's see what else is coming from there. Well, quite often when we apply logic to something as opposed to emotions, which these two, even though they're intellectual cards because they come from the swords family, they imply a lot of emotion through them as well. So a lot of negative or sad or stressful emotion. But when we start applying intellect and rationale and thoughts to circumstances, we often find that we come to this place, such as a door of healing and insight and some happiness as well. Now, the thinking woman could be yourself, because you Sagittarians are known for your high intellect, often praised as one of the more intellectual astrological signs of the 12. So it could be applying to your own ability to think through a situation and use logic, or it is suggesting there is someone around you, and it probably is a female, who could be very beneficial for you at this time, either giving you some insight or direction or logic within a certain situation as well. So she could be someone that you see, such as a mentor or a psychologist or a counselor or a lawyer or an accountant or a tax person. She plays a positive role in helping you through something. And yeah, I think with these two cards, this is a very good one to get, the Angel of Balance. She really does just talk about bringing balance in and applying it at all levels of life. So especially the emotions, through the physical body as well. If any of you are suffering pain in the physical body, or such as in the heart area or the chest, to go and have that checked, to seek the right type of, I suppose, exercises is what I'm thinking of, about bringing in calm and peace to your body to relieve stress and tension. So things like yoga, meditation, getting plenty of sleep and rest, and replenishing your body with vitamins and minerals, and eating the right foods. Let's see what else is coming up for you guys. Oh wow, that is really beautiful. That number 17 is the Star. So whenever the Star is in, it actually lessens the energy of these type of cards. It makes these ones less powerful, because it shines above and beyond it, and it brings healing rays of light into situations. So the Star is a wonderful one to have. It also traditionally, in any traditional tarot deck, it shows quite a lot of little stars in the background, which I always refer to as your spirit guides or angelic helpers, or sometimes even archangels. So they can be around, really helping you through any difficult situations or people that could be around at this time. The Star also talks about balance in the traditional tarot, and so that's kind of following on very succinctly from the Angel of Balance. So two cards referencing to make sure you moderate things and balance them out in the month of June. So let's go over to here and see what is being said from the Oracle Insight deck. And we have physical health. We did talk about that a little bit just before, saying if there was any physical health or even feeling like stress or emotions, but it says vitality, strength, body image and balance. So focusing again on maintaining your physical health and balance. Yeah, balance. So there's the word balance again up there, the Angel of Balance, and this balance in here. So that was in fact 3 times that it came through for you. For some of you, this could be a physical issue that needs some form of balance. I can't think of a better suited word. You might need to focus on something about your body in the month of June. So get a physical health checkup. get your diet looked at. See if there's things that you can do to either improve or make changes to any physical things that could alleviate areas that you haven't looked into or haven't looked after, or areas that need change. The physical health is also the very base chakra area of our body, which is right down in this area here. And sometimes this means it could be blocked. And when that's blocked, we block the flow of physical manifestations such as money, wealth, career, jobs, home, the soul tribe, the physical family tribe, and fear, flight, and worry and anxiety. So when we clear that blockage, especially by working on areas of the body around this part, and we get free flowing energy from the ground up and then allow it to flow through, we can manifest more, and we can be in less things like tension or fear or worry or loss or lack of things like money and our homes and our stability. So that's something else to think of there. Oh, that's odd, isn't it? Because that is the same card. It's the Seven of Swords twice in a row. Well, you know, every month someone has to get a bit of a Grinchy reading, and I can only say that you guys are getting a relatively stern message about being very careful of people around you in this month of June, and who is doing what, and who's doing what to who, and who shouldn't be around. But do remember, you have got this, which is particularly beautiful at the moment, the star that will cover off a lot of the negativity, and it will push it back a little bit. It will also hopefully forewarn you of circumstances. And when you check in and see a reading like this, you are getting to a degree some sort of ability to keep your eyes open for the month and be forewarned and be on the lookout for this kind of activity. So let's see what this one says. A contract. This contract can be a couple of different things, but what do we have in here again? The scales. Again, we're talking about this blasted balance for you guys, because when the scales are sitting evenly, they're balanced. So she can't see here. The contract can be very much a soul contract. So this can be an emotional thing that is going on in the background, and sometimes this can be very karmic. So some of you may be working through a very deep karmic cycle of something that had to happen, or you had to experience, or these people who have come in or been around you are there for a reason and a lesson. Hopefully they will disappear soon enough, and you will have learnt whatever it is you had to learn, and that the contract can be finished. So if this is the case, that you have been in some sort of karmic event or met people who have been teaching you a lesson, for want of a better phrase, it could be that it's about to come to an end, which is a really good thing, because then this will dissipate and disappear, and you will have learnt one of your soul's lessons, and you will be able to move on freely. However, the other perspective of this is it's a contract that can be signed in the here and now, and it can be to do with things like lawyers. So signing a contract such as a new job proposal, a home that you purchase or sell, a business that you purchase or sell, legal advice, or something to do with the law or taxes or accountancy or something along those lines as well. So this is a full-on reading that you guys are getting. It's very in the physical plane, and it's telling you about events or something that are going on. The Knight of Pentacles could be an earth sign person who could be on the scene. Often these court cards can represent a specific person, so it could be an earth sign person who is something to do with perhaps this contract. I don't know if it would be what's going on over here. But if it is this person, he might offer you something, he might be involved in a contract, he might be part of a family team that's in this contract. Either that, or he has the potential to be new energy around things like career, which could be the contract you're signing. So the offer of a new job or a pay rise or a new type of position or with a new company or purchasing a new company. He fits well into all of those paradigms. He does often support positive energies within your financial sector or how you earn your money. The Hanged Man, there's nothing wrong with him. He's just a timing issue, and he often talks about things being held up. So if you wanted something to happen quickly, there may have been a timing issue with this. It may have been meant to come through a while ago, or it appears and then there's something that holds up the final signing of this contract, or getting rid of these creepy characters out of your life. But the other thing the Hanged Man more importantly talks about is some sort of deep realization that you are at a crossroad in your life and you need to make changes and move out of something that no longer serves you, to take you to a place that does serve you, such as the door to personal healing and happiness. So he also often has a feeling of illumination around his head, because you gain this spiritual epiphany or understanding that there's a massive change coming in your life. So it's at a crossroad. Now, the other thing that I often think about traditionally with this card is that there can be physical pain in and or around the head, neck or shoulders or the back. And of course we had the card about the physical health. So don't forget to look at your physical health in June. Oh, how nice. Victory, excellent. So does the victory entitle or encompass the contract, and does it encompass this making a decision with the Hanged Man and which direction you are going in? Or was the stalling of time the reason that it needed to stall because victory was coming? Lovely. The Ace of Pentacles as such. Prosperity begins. So you see, when you go through periods where there are some glitchy stuff going on, like everything in life, there will always be a silver lining to every cloud. For every action there is always a reaction. So you're never stuck in just one paradigm or one lot of bad luck forever, or one set of unfortunate circumstances. So if we come back to this, we see intelligence, and we talked about your innate intelligence before, and we've already had the thinking woman, and we have a contract, and all of these perspectives of life use intelligence to work through scenarios and situations. So intelligence is talking about education, knowledge, perception, and flexibility. And flexibility, I guess you could say, even though the angel of balance, you might think, sounds as though it has to be in total balance, so where is the flexibility? Your perception and understanding of a situation, and knowing that it can change and swing about and move the negatives or the bad stuff out to bring in things like this, can be very empowering. So let me read the words for you from the intelligence card, and this is coming to you from the third eye. So I think it's the third eye. It's either the third eye or the crown chakra. While modern Western culture tends to judge intelligence based on mental capacity alone, true intelligence is a much more holistic and expansive experience. True intelligence is an interweaving of linear and non-linear, tangible and energetic, structure and creative flow within the mind, body, heart and spirit. In one sense, intelligence may be activated by expanding our knowledge through teachers, books and lessons in our external world. In a deeper sense, our true intelligence is an infinite essence that has been with us since well before our arrival here at the Earth School and will remain with us long after we depart. Accessing this aspect of ourself is about taking time to uncover, remember, and trust that which we already have within. This true sense of intelligence may be sparked or revealed by external teaching, but it takes us beyond the pages of the most profound written text, illuminating our ability to read the patterns of the world and draw deep wisdom from the wellspring of life. This encourages you to awaken to a fuller experience of your own innate intelligence. It is time to integrate new concepts into your current frameworks, to analyze and question the new, but also be willing to question your old concepts. Be open-minded and flexible. Realize that your intelligence is not about surface understanding of facts or theory, but the embodiment of deep inner knowing in the way you live your life. It can be confronting to acknowledge and accept new ideas, but if we cling to our perception of how we have always seen things, we become stagnant in both thought and experience. By integrating new concepts into our framework of thought, or letting go of our framework to see a higher way, we say yes to the essence of true intelligence rising up within us. Open your mind to see and experience the divinely intelligent being you are today. And I think that fits really, really well with the Hanged Man, who I said was at some sort of crossroad in life, and a spiritual illumination or understanding through the mind about what your whole quest or path is here, your journey. So it's like you come to a new journey where you have seen off some sort of old contract and you are moving into a new direction. Let's have a look at attachment. So to allow the freedom, to allow the new movement, to allow this, what they just said before, looking beyond what you currently know and how you perceive things, you must let go of any of those previous thoughts, ideas or belief systems, because when we remain attached, it prevents us intellectually and from our cosmic intelligence from choosing the next path forward. So I think we are nearly done there, guys. Let's just have a look at one more. This is the Five of Pentacles. It's also not the nicest of cards in many ways. It talks about slight issues with finances, but it also talks about emotional, it says financial and material changes in this card, but it can talk about emotional changes, and it can often be referring to an intimate relationship, such as with, another partner, and a change coming within that relationship. And we've mentioned before, was there something going on? Has there been a little bit of deception and envy? Was it time to move someone out? Has the karmic cycle come to completion that enables you to move forward into this beautiful place of personal healing and happiness at a major juxtaposition of your life where you achieve a victory, success, because you utilize your innate spiritual cosmic intelligence and the energy of the cosmos, the stars indeed, to bring about balance. So there we are, guys. A pretty powerful reading, lots of different messages. You might want to come back and listen again and go through the cards and interpret them as you feel you need to for your individual situation. These are general readings, so clearly some of the cards will have a much deeper resonance with some of you than others. I won't be available for any private readings until mid-July, as I am actually on holiday for the whole of June anyhow. So do have a wonderful June and ponder all of these very special messages that have arrived for you guys. So thank you for joining me. Much love, everyone. Namaste.